Our diocese certainly has been blessed over the years by young men from other countries who've come to Western Massachusetts to be ordained as priests. Father Valentine Nworah from the ordination class of 2020 is one example of the blessing these men are to our faith community. After months of COVID travel delays, last spring he was able to finally go home to his native eastern Nigeria to celebrate his ordination with family and friends there. He later sat down with Kathy Harrington to share this reunion and celebration.
A pandemic delayed the blessed day that Father Valentine Nworah gave his life to God. It also kept his family 5,400 miles away in Nigeria.
It was pretty much a family celebration at home, and they watched it online.
But this spring, loaded down with gifts and souvenirs, Father Valentine headed home for the first time in 5 years.
My focus was mainly on the Thanksgiving Mass first, the activities that were going to happen for my coming back, the reception back home for the ordination, and I was a little bit nervous. And then number two, it was, getting to be with my family again, getting to meet my friends again, and, getting to feel at home again.
After celebrating the Holy Triduum at the parish of a friend in Umuji, it was time to celebrate his ordination, beginning with a soccer match in his honor, his family against his seminary friends. Father Valentine on St. Matthew's Field for the kickoff. With a Nworah family win, Father Valentine carried out a Nigerian tradition. Every newly ordained priest blesses the family home.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
On Divine Mercy Sunday at the parish of St. Joseph Catholic Church in Abuema, he celebrated a Holy Mass of Thanksgiving.
The first place I did my Mass was my town, my hometown. That's the village where my father was buried. But that was the first time saying Mass in my native language. And it took a lot of work, I have to confess, because I needed to pay more attention to what I say and how I say it and how I pronounce it
A week later at his residential parish, Father Valentine celebrated a second Mass of Thanksgiving in the city where he was born, the church where he received all his sacraments, Immaculate Heart of Mary in Fegge, Onitsha. The brightly colored chasuble Father Valentine wore is his family's color pattern, especially made for him for the Thanksgiving Masses.
We express our joy and our celebration in different ways. Clothing is one of the ways that we love to celebrate things. Of course, our people, we are very colorful, and you can see that.
Not for every Mass, just big occasions like weddings, anniversaries, funerals, and ordinations.
To be honest, words wouldn't be enough to express the joy that I felt having to celebrate Mass. And at this time, not just participating at the Mass, but being the celebrant myself in my culture, in the way that my people do it, in the colorful and beautiful way that we celebrate, and in the manner that, we worship God and praise Him through the liturgy of the Mass. So it was really, really amazing for me.
The joyful expression of faith can lead to Masses lasting up to 3 hours. And then there's the offertory.
They will put the boxes in front of the altar, and people will have to come out from the pews, and they will be dancing down to put their offerings in the box and then dance back to their pews. That alone can take about 30-45 minutes, depending on how many people you have in church.
As the Mass of Thanksgiving concluded, a reception in the village followed, then moved to the family compound. This celebration was a time for dancing through the street.
So it's a joyful thing for my family. It's a joyful thing. It's a blessing. It's an honor for my family that God took one of them to become one of his. So my family went all out to do that, to say thank you to God to the best of our ability, and that was part of it. And when you are doing the dancing as the celebrant, they will actually come to spray money on you. Where we gave people food and drinks, and and they danced, and we cut the cake there. And I also gave them souvenirs and gifts, and blessed the people who came to me also, and people brought envelopes. A friend of mine actually did that cake for me. A friend of mine did that cake, and when she sent me the pictures or the video in the first place, I was like, oh my goodness.
Back in the Diocese of Springfield, Father Valentine speaks of this journey home as a treasure.
Everything about the visit, it stays in my heart, and it's always in my heart. I remember all the time, the celebration, the people, getting to spend some time with my family, with my mother, getting to see my siblings again. Everything about that visit.
Father Valentine says this was the path the Lord wanted him to take. In Greenfield, I'm Kathy Harrington for Real to Real.
What an uplifting experience. And while his family and friends were unable to attend his August 2020 ordination in person, they did watch it via streaming video and held a party to celebrate.